사시보기 조심해도 다마마리 올린시 니에데기네 마니 상계시닌도 미에오와 이드로쿠노 나맘다 신의 나이쇼마라 이당구르라 나멘다다
상계
초당속이 청남나 장초바도다니 겹수지 나기 진행계 배송남계 드로라 벤체 상계 좀하숑
상계
초당속이 청남나 장초바도다니 겹수지 나기 진행계 배송남계 드로라 벤체 상계 좀하숑
상계
초당속이 청남나 장초바도다니 겹수지 나기 진행계배 성남계 드로라 벤제 상계 드로파런슈
오늘 뭐처럼 이게 좋아보니까 탐재게 좋다. 저는 한개 투진이 좀 따왔지. 저는 담배 진행이 되는 좀 좋아서 so oneself, the motivation of oneself, that even achieve the ultimate happiness, the liberation from samsara, blissful state of peace for oneself. That really, even though it is in regards meaningful of life, is then the second one, the middle one, but however, it is not really, the best meaningful life. So the meaningful life, then that is the real meaningful life, then that is to benefit the sentient beings, including even one insect, even one person. And then to benefit it, then one must stop giving harm to be able to benefit it. Now then from there, the numberless sentient beings, numberless helpings, hang towards animals, human beings, sura beings, asura beings, there are numberless universe, there are numberless human beings, so not only human beings in this world. So all that to free all of them from the oceans of samsara suffering. not all that, and bring everyone to the total cessation of obscurations and grow subtle, the completion of all the realization, the Sangye. So by myself alone, therefore through that I must achieve set omniscience myself. Then so even you achieve the arahatship, still there's of course unknowing. They haven't abandoned. So still can't do perfect work for the sentient beings. So comparing to us, myself now, I mean, this I mean, art is sort of like enlightenment being compared to myself. So like that. So, but you see, cannot do perfect work without slightest mistakes. See, work with sentient beings, because for cause of unknowing, they haven't abandoned. One is the secret actions of Buddha. Also can be qualities. So that arahatas, even they have incredible cosmic realization, unbelievable miracle powers they can show, and unbelievable, yes, but cannot see the secret actions of Buddhas. Then there's one unknowing. Then another one is the third karmas. Chinta probably. So as you heard many times the story even from myself, because he got fed up. I think he was 80 years old or something. Got fed up by being teased by every day by the children in the family, and then he thought to go to monastery, so then he will have great peace. One day then he went to the monastery. Then the abbot of the monastery is a man called Yipu. Not the man called Sheripu. Not the man called Sheripu. So he saw the abbot of the monastery, Sharipu, but the abbot didn't accept him. He's too old and he cannot memorize, he cannot do others. Memorize cannot do, he cannot do even service to the sanghas. The monastery can't do that. He's too old, and he didn't accept, and said he have no karma to become a monk. So he bent down his head on the door of the monastery, and then he cried, and then he went to the park of the monastery and cried, and then that time Buddha was in India, so Buddha was able to see that was happening with him, so Buddha can appear there and ask what happened. Then he explained the problems, and then Buddha said, I have completed the merits of wisdom, merits of fortune. So therefore I could see that you have karma to be a monk. But the Sharipu, the Arhat, it hasn't completed the merits of wisdom, merits of virtue. So there we can't see that you have karma to be a monk. So such a long time ago, there was a stupa and there was cow dung around. So the water, the curtain, he was taken by water, or also smell of the cow dung. So went around the stupa one time, just one time. Just one time. That was the karma. That was such unbelievable length of length of time ago. So that's a kind of self karma. So I can see, but that Sharipu, the Arhat could not see that. That's one cause of unknowing. So, so I could see that you karma to be a monk. So he checked, Buddha checked who can subdue him, look up to him. Is Mengelji Buddha, who is excellent in psychic power. Sharipu is excellent with the wisdom among the Buddhist disciples. So then he went in the monastery whose abbot is Mengelji Buddha. Then Buddha handed over to Mengelji Buddha to look after him. So he became a monk. And again in the monastery, all the young monks teach him, play with him, teach him every day. So he got a fat with that, and he without receiving permission from the abbot, he just jumped. He went out and just jumped in the river. So then, at that time, Mengelji Buddha, the abbot, was looking around with his clairvoyance, the monk is. Could not find the monk in the monastery. He saw with his clairvoyance, he saw the monk just jumped in the river. So he appeared, the abbot appeared there, the shore of the river, and then grabbed him, and said the old monk, and then the old monk was completely shocked. He didn't expect, so they completely shocked, and he couldn't speak well. Then he expressed, so why you jumped? And then Mengelji said, you just this whole corner of my robe, then flew away in the sky, went on, then there was a huge amount of bones. So landed on that, and then Mengelji sat, and then the older man sat down below. Then the older man asked, whose bone is this? And then Mengelji said, this is your past life bone. This is your past life bone. It was born the one very large, I don't know, intellectual choosing, but I don't know exactly what it's called water line, but I think wild was a large animal in the ocean. So that was his past life. He was past life with whales in the ocean. So that was born of his past life. So as soon as he heard that, then hair stood up from the paws. He got a renunciation of samsara is nature suffering. So he got renunciation from that, just from that, by hearing that. Samsara is nature suffering. So I mean, that then in that life actualized the renunciation from that. Then is in that life he achieved direct perception of emptiness, direct wisdom, directly perceiving emptiness, ultimate nature, right view. So then that life he became Arhat. Destroyer, the enemy and delusion, say, Zopa. So he became Arhat. So all of that. So that's so the unknowing, the not the subtle karma. So Buddha then he completes the merit of wisdom, merit of virtue, so ishi so completed. So therefore they achieve omniscience. So there's no the focus or unknowing. All the Buddha explained. So that's really so yeah. So that's so. So I think, for example, butterfly has different color, different designs. So karma of each design, karma of each spot. The insects or the butterflies, so many colors, so many designs. So each spot, each color, like Peacock's feather has different color, so that is the cause of each one is regarded as self-karma. So I make the sort of similar to then butterfly has a wing, has so much color and so much design. So cause of each design is self-karma. To understand that. Why yes, butterfly got this design? Each spot, each spot, each color. That's self-karma. So you see why butterflies got. Same thing, the human body. On the human body, you different marks. You're born with it, or it came later. They should be same also as self-karma, I think. So the color of the peacock, a different color, that is self-karma, then same thing, you see. So, for example, you see, the mark here, this is mark on the red color, then this mark on the yellow color. This is mark, you see, it's design. For example, plant, you see, on the plant, small, tiny plant, it's very interesting leaves and very interesting design. So tiny flower, there's color, and there's a design, it's such a small flower, has incredible nice design, it's so small. So that's understand the cause of that. Each one is self-karma. So why it happened, why this happened. Self-karma, that means came from your mind. And that came from your mind. As you see, it came from your mind. So in a Dara house, so with some students, bringing them in the garden or some, not in the garden, I think maybe in the forest or some, there's flowers or plants. So I was telling them, Geshe Toga was there. So anyway, I was telling the students, look at this plant, so much design, all this came from your mind, came from karma, came from your karma. So that's a self-karma. There's such a tiny design of color, what is big flower, or the small tiny flower. So I was telling them, I say, came from your mind. Came from your mind, so all that things. So like that, the whole thing, where you were form, where you were looking, the sound of, they were listening, the object, form, sound, smell, what you are smelling, the tangible object, smell, object, smell, taste. The whole thing, what you enjoy, what you experiencing, all come from your mind. Come from the mind, come from your mind. Yeah. So, including this tiny flower designs, so incredible, tiny flower or the large flower with so many colors and designs. So same. So the whole thing, form, sound, smell, touch, everything came from the mind, created by the mind, came to the mind. So I don't remember exact words, but I was telling them how that's very good mindfulness meditation. When you walk, when you're in forest, when you're in garden, with this mindfulness walk around. Besides making offering your guru, your root guru, making offering everything, all the beauty visible, all the beauties, make offering. Besides that, you see practice mindfulness, how it's all come from your mind. This is excellent mindfulness. Mindfulness doesn't have to be only for walking, only with the feet, no. Only with your toes. Oh no, it doesn't mean only your feet. If you don't have feet, then you have no mindfulness. If you don't have feet, joking. You get the mindfulness on your nose. But if you lost your nose, then maybe, no, I'm joking. Sorry. So that's very interesting mindfulness. So, for example, if you are trekking, pilgrimage, trekking, sightseeing, this is mindfulness. You can practice mindfulness like that. This is how everything came from your mind. Yes, how everything came from your mind. You see, nothing exists, nothing from its own side. Even though it appears, but it is hallucination. It's not there. It is hallucination. It's not there. If you check, it's not there. So then, that's a very easy way to meditate on emptiness, right view. So So through that, so how everything came from the mind. So mindfulness. So Kasang. So I'm using that logic, you see, reason. So all this is incredible thing, see, plant, it's a personal plant, it's a tiny flower, that has so much design, all that. So who made it? The God made, and yeah. Who made it? Well, that's itself doesn't have mind. So you see. So anyway, who made it? Itself doesn't have mind. I want to be like that. That doesn't mind. So anyway. So all this, all the beautiful things that you see, all the in your view, all the beautiful things, what you see, all come from your good karma, All the ugly you don't like, all the ugly bad things, bad ones. In your view, what you see, bad ones, all come from your mind. In your view, all the ugly, bad things come from your mind, your negative mind. All the good ones come from your positive mind, healthy mind, virtue thought, positive thought. So like that. So therefore, the whole thing forms some simultaneous sensible object, all the bad and good. So everything comes from your mind. All the good ones are what good ones, and they come from your healthy mind, your positive mind, virtue thought. And all the ugly bad ones come from your mind, negative mind, negative thought. So that everything. So therefore, you see how the plants, how beautiful, how incredible design, unbelievable design, the colors, amazing. Each different flowers, the leaves of each flower exactly fit to the flower. I mean, amazing. So if you check all these details, unbelievable how in all these nice things, then came from your good karma, your virtue thought, positive thought, you see, not negative or positive thought. So because of that, then I use a logic. Yes, you can achieve enlightenment. You practice dharma. If you meet correct dharma and the complete path, if you meet correct dharma, yes, condensed in the Lama teaching, middle, lower teaching of the lower. Teaching of the lower capable being, teaching of the middle capable being, teaching of the high capable being. So all our teachings included in that. So Tantra teaching the high capable into the high capable being. So if you meet the correct teaching and complete teaching, there is teaching path that shows path that leads to enlightenment, complete path. So if you meet correct teaching and complete teaching, then you are able to exercise path and cease all that gross subtle defilements and be able to achieve enlightenment. So I use this plants. You see, such beautiful plants like this, small or big. However, that you are able to enjoy, able to see these things through your past good karma, because of incredible design, so like that. So same thing. This is as example. You can achieve enlightenment. Oh, the power of mind. This is the flowers like this was the power of your good karma. Oh, that is. So that's how that you can see, you can exercise, you can meet correct dharma, you can exercise the complete path. Achieve enlightenment. You can achieve enlightenment. Oh, I use that as reason to prove you can achieve enlightenment. Oh, so that's good to think. When you see nice flowers outside, the flowers is one example, but you can other examples there. You can use that how they exist. It's come from your good karma. That you see nice in your view, come from your good karma. Oh, like that you can achieve enlightenment. Oh, you can remove the defilements, causal sufferings, the obscurations, you can achieve enlightenment. Oh, I use that. for sentient being. So like that. So that energizes you. That see, instead of depression, I can't do it again. Then this to energize your mind. It's how it's possible. Like this, how it's possible. All this, even here, just here, in the view, how it's possible. All this similar. The enlightenment is, we can achieve enlightenment like that. So highest achievement. So like that is good to you. Good use like that to inspire yourself. However, as I mentioned the other day when Sanghas went for dinner, so I mentioned that at the end we did dedication. So the benefactors of Pema Sambhava statue. So at the end I went to dedication. So with all the sanghas we did dedication. So there's in the danger of, the war, famine, war is easy to understand, came from mind, created by mind. It's about delusion, by hallucinated mind, ignorance, and then also self-cherishing thought. Yes. Then it's created by anger, due to attachment. So, basically, that's created by ignorance and the war. And then like that, famine, disease, COVID, disease and famine and all this danger. And also I said it's not natural disaster, not nature. It came from it came from the karma. It's come from mind. Certain beings who experience the danger of earth, danger of water, danger of fire, danger of wind, all these tornado and all the different problems. And so all those things came from the karma. Without karma, those won't exist. So we came from karma. Which karma? Not virtuous karma, but non-virtuous karma, or negative mind. So all this came from negative mind. So it's not natural disaster. No, natural disaster means it exists from a society. It means natural disaster means it exists from a society. No, it's all wrong. Then nothing exists from a society. Nothing exists from a society. Everything exists in the mere name, mere image of our mind. So therefore everything is empty of existing from their inside. Everything is empty of existing from their inside. So therefore, even those dangers, earthquake, dangers of earth, dangers of water, dangers of fire, wind, all those things, of course, mere level of our mind. Everything says in mere name, mere level of our mind, so it came to the mind. So it's not natural disaster. Karma, the king, came from karma, negative karma, so not natural disaster. Then also mere level of our mind, so it's not natural disaster. So without mind, it doesn't exist. Without mind, which experience in that suffering, without mind, that suffering, suffering, that problem, that danger of earth, danger of water, danger of fire, the wind and the do not exist. So all of that. My new project is actually I think it's connected with the environment. Just thought came in my mind. There's a unbelievable saying Buddha Pema Sambhava predicted unbelievable shortcomings, smoking cigarette and sniffing cemetery jail. How incredible danger to the environment. Cause war and disease and famine, all the things, and then dangers of earthquakes and water flood and all these things, and then wind, water, then water problems, and then all those water flood and all those. It's happening in many countries in the world, especially on the China and America. It doesn't matter how much rich the country is, it's still happening. Also, disaster for America, unbelievable disaster, hot. The climate completely changes, It's cold or hot, then it's hot or hot, the cold. I mean, unbelievable change. So his owner said, during our time, during this life, it is okay. But life after that, not during this life, but life after that, life after his own says his own life, for example, his own life. During this time it's okay, but after this, then they will be incredible in the world. Unbelievable soul, unbelievable heart, and unbelievable. So all this happens. The next one, the next life, or it's not saying that he will experience. It's not saying that. Comparing time, then during his own life, then it's okay. But after that, there will be so much difficulties in the West and especially in the world. So the world is going down to degeneration. You see. Gradually to end. So I mean, 7 sunrises, then the whole world is a fire, mountains get melted, rocks get melted, and all that. That's the descriptions in the, I think it's Amitabha Buddhist or other teachings, and though it's described. You see the world end. This begin and end. Begin and end. I think something, I'm not sure. 20 intermediate eon for evolution of the world, 20 intermediation existing, and 20 intermediate eon for ending the world. Zambulin Chapel Paganishu, Zambulin Never Paganishu, Zambulin Jibble Paganishu, Zambul and Tongwater Paganishu, Pagirwa. Nishu, really did you? So, my memory is very bad. So, their application said 80 intermediate eon. 80 intermediate eon for evolution of the world, 80 intermediate eon for existing, and 80 intermediate eon for ending. Then, while it's empty, how long it's empty, then 80 intermediate yom. So like that. So now it's all slowly ending, see. It is mentioned in the Liberation Poem by Amitabha the Jingbo, the next life, because the next life, next it's up to the world end. Because human beings' life go down to 10th age, 10th. Then the Amitabha descent, that's what the time will tall holy body and like that. People wonder why, how it happened then, and because it came from good karma, then everyone get inspired to call it good karma. So what is that? The time mentioned in the Liberation Poem by Japanga when Amitabha descent. So anyway, sorry. By the way, I mentioned my project. Recent time. So recent just unbelievable tradition. So. Of course, there's all this danger of earth, danger of water, fire, although it's so bad. The opium, tobacco, the smoking, the sniffing, and all that, unbelievable. It harms the others, not only human beings, it harms nagas and other landlords and other beings, devils. When the other beings harms, destroy so much. Cities or their Kasure. Yeah. So much harm, the environment. Anyway, so also trying to make. It is mentioned with the teachings, and I mean, it is mentioned with dharma, but it is not not well known, not well advertised. You see. So I was thinking to advertise him. I mean, in Nepal, first in Nepal, I finished, from my side I finished. Then after that, Jikol is a monk from Kapon who, was in charge of all the monasteries in Nepal. Working with him, so he thought the cover is I guess expensive, and then covers skeleton smoking cigarette, and the plums came from my eyes, and then you destroy your health, and so then smoking, then world. Burned by fire and sort of, probably that's expensive. So he's inside subject so little, so need more pages. so I extended for people, advice for people how to be better human being, how to be good human being. So I just mix about this life and the future life and all that. Responsibility, you see, all the happiness for all the future life is that also happiness this life, yes, not just only human, not just only this life, but mixed with the, you see, this life and all the future is happiness. So, then at the end, Kasure. Science mentioned about those dangers. Smoking cigarettes, there's the danger, the mention. So that then I put the science what I mentioned, put together. So those people don't hardly believe the previous explanation, like Pema Sambhava, there's many enlightened beings. So then they can believe the science, you see. They can believe the science. And in the by having science, it helps. So massage is finished. So then in Nepali, first in Nepali, this forward by famous, some singers was famous person. So in Nepal, the people then take it seriously. Then I want to make it all over the world to spread this environment. That's the most important thing in the environment. I think there are many things people talk about the environment, but I want to emphasize this one. This worst thing, environment. So many people don't know about this. So very, very humble other sentient beings besides human beings, other sentient. So this I want to spread in the world, so to help. So see, reduce these dangers of earth, water, fire, all these things reduce, So the people abandon, this black, this Mara's prayer or Mara's creation, this to harm the people who practice dharma or to harm the people, sentient beings. So all this. So I'm thinking to do that. So ask it to get to help, and then maybe somebody can send forward, I don't know, maybe as soon as I'm not sure, but I want to do that. So to help the environment, that's a very good thing to help the environment. So even though this smoking cigarette, it has been discovered very bad for health, basically health. Then more restrictions and happened. You see, in the restaurant you can't smoke, or you have to go to certain place to smoke, or something like that. There's more. But that was just for health. So anyway, what do you say? So here the story is Chinda Pape. So when it was a long time ago, unbelievable time ago, this was born as a fly. Then there was cow dung around, following the smell of the cow dung. So they went around the stupa, one time. So then, as a result of that virtue, that small virtue, you see, that is the great cause of enlightenment. So then, later, you see, in the front Buddha, he become Kasure. Arhatship. So by meeting the abbot, the Mango Jipu, also like that, you see. So, so the Kasure. So they happened Kasa. 7 tiny insects on the leaf, on the water, maybe wind. So anyway, went around. Not stupa, but that's a Buddha Kashyapa statue, I think. Went around 3 times, I think. Went around. Then, because of that, so powerful, you see, unbelievable. So when wind carried, so on the leaf, went around 3 times around the Kashyapa statue. So next life, they are born human being. Next life, so that purified, unbelievable negative karma, caused the Lord in purified, and they were born human being next life. The 7 tiny insects on the leaf went down 3 times. So it's purified so much negative karma, past history, caused to be reborn Lord. So, yeah. And quality merit, you see, then born human being. Human being, I think human being, by the raw caste. So go to so much renunciation through the caste and So then the next life, the king, one king in India. One king, I don't remember the name, King Kashika or one king, born as the third and I think 7 daughters, they were born women, I think, 7 daughters. King's daughter. So, I mean, there was the underworld and all that, you see. And I don't remember the name of the king. That's quite common name, the king of the king's name. Not Kashika, I'm not sure. Sorry. So, born daughter to the king. So then met Buddha Kashika, Sanju Osum, one before Shakyamuni Buddha. Met Buddha, so Buddha, then Buddha predicted him for enlightenment. Buddha predicted them in the enlightenment. You have to understand. So the basic thing, how that come is because there were tiny insects on the leaf, and they went 3 round with the Kashyapa's statue. Went around 3 times. Not that they knew that this is Buddha Kashyapa, nothing like that. Because power of the, not from their motivation, but it's a power, not from their motivation because of virtue or Buddhism, nothing. It's power of the object. The statue, Buddha Kashyapa. So from that then, the actions going 3 round become dharma, cause of enlightenment. Or then the second life, then they were born to the king's daughter, and they met Buddha Kashyapa, and Buddha Kashyapa predicted the enlightenment. All sort of this. So therefore, upon many ants. So I do time to time. I do take them around So the ants in the room and around the bed. So take them around, by putting tissue paper or things like that. Take them around there's an altar that go around with the kind of layers. So many small stupas to hold the objects around. So there's a relics on top, and then so take them around. So a few times. So if you have time, then a few times around with it, and put it outside. So mostly unagendas, they're taking them around, around the holy object, you see. Or the outside there's 1,000 Buddha that are over light, many lights. Flowers. Then outside the 1,000 Buddha, there's I take them around, so that's what you can walk much around. So it's done. That was done like that was done so much, so many times. So sooner or later, so everyone they will be born human being. So I'm sure. I'm sure we meet him. We meet, but of course, from my side, wouldn't know this was the human being. Post-Pasla was ant. So last time, you remember last time here, there's this much portal I gave to each family, to put in the kitchen to take the insects, take them around to hold the objects, So last time I gave to each family. So so upstairs in my room, down to the table, I said there were the holy objects, And there I saw that's all those pictures I saw sat there. So thinking, you see, when you take them around, you're bringing them to enlightenment. But actually, they're bringing you to enlightenment also. They are bringing, because you're going around by taking them, they think you're bringing them, I bring them to enlightenment. But also, they're bringing you to enlightenment. You see, they help you to purify your negative karma and unbelievable merits. They bring to enlightenment. So that's help in the vast ways. So, and really amazing. So anyway, So I was talking about the motivation. Then the focus or unknowing. Then one is unbelievable length of time. Unbelievable length of time. Then cannot see one cause of unknowing. Then maybe so far the sense of place. I think might be that. So the one, unbelievable distance, and one cause might be cause. One cause of unknowing might be that. So however, arhatas have not removed that, so cannot do a perfect walk for sentient being. So from the story, Kinda Prabhupada's story, you can understand. So, so you need to remove, to do perfect walk for the sentient being, so you need to achieve state of omniscience. Then to achieve the state of omniscience, therefore I'm going to listen to teaching, think, bodhichitta motivation, okay? Okay, so yesterday I mentioned about, but again, you shouldn't misunderstand. Shouldn't misunderstand that everybody that you all should have a couple lives, couple husband, wife. Everybody should have. I'm not saying that. Those who have a couple has a those who have a couple life. See, then I'm saying what you should do. What see? I'm giving advice or say, how to make the life useful, better. So suggesting that they can say So His Holiness said, if you follow delusion, remember Jesuits, if you follow the delusion, then it harms you and harms to others. Others means, you see, numberless sentient beings. Yeah. Yes. Even one sentiment, two sentiment, but then numberless sentient beings. And this basic thing from life to life, harm. You follow the delusion. So, if you follow the good heart, then it benefits you. It benefits to all sentient beings. Brings happiness to all the sentient beings. You follow the good heart. First, you want to know that. Then His Holiness says that, you see, in my life is it beneficial for sentient being sick. In my life is beneficial for sentient being the big sick, sick, sick. But sick, you see, but it is beneficial for sentient, but which is beneficial for sentient beings. In my life, if we died, it's beneficial. That's the most beneficial for sentient beings. You see. So being sick is the most beneficial for sentient beings. Die is the most beneficial for sentient beings. Or whatever is best for sentient beings, let that happen. Let that happen. You choose that. You see. You dedicate your life for sentient beings. So, if sick is most beneficial for big sick, and die and death most beneficial for sentient beings, then you see, having death, you choose that. That's incredible practice. That's the best happiness. You have to know happiness. You have to know really peaceful, happy mind. No fear, no regret. Wow, seeing this, if you cancel, whatever cancel, whatever sickness you have. Everything is most beneficial. Sentient being, beneficial life for sentient being. Then travel that. My life to die is most beneficial sentient being. Let it happen that. So you choose that. You totally dedicate to your life. Numberless sentient beings. You understand? Not one person. Not one person. Numberless sentient beings. You dedicate it. You give it. And then you choose that. What is most beneficial? Oh, that's the expert. That you know how to live life. Expert. Oh, that's, you see, being sick, cancer, whatever is sick, but you say, did you experience the first something? Oh, best. Wow, nobody sent things. Wow. Oh, it's unbelievable purification. And that, you see, that much quicker you achieve enlightenment. But with that bodhichitta, quicker you achieve enlightenment. You see? So then someone says, you see, afraid of death. I mean, then you say, you do so much pujas for death, so much pujas. You know, something the long life mantras or long life for your own, you see, so much pujas. Then you don't do this practice. You don't do this, this benefit others your life. You never do this practice. Then yourself, doing so much puja, doing spend so much. You didn't say yourself, but yeah. Then when the death comes, then so afraid. Wow, when death comes, you did so much puja, but then my death was this, then pujas. Then when the exile comes, so afraid, so sad, so afraid. You die with that. So when you die with that, you end up life with that. You say like that. So you're not inspiring family. You see, you cause them so sad. They can't do anything. Even the king, who has population, millions, zillions population, when the king dies, nobody can take with him. Even how much world he has, even the atom, he can't take through the next life, pitch life. They can't do anything. They all have to leave him. He has to separate from all of them. So all these millions, zillions population. So something. And the beggar, when the beggar dies, he has to leave the stick, separate from the stick. So that's see. So in the kasare. Oh, kasai. So said, you see. So the puja, so the death for the death, puja. You see, you don't do those practices, benefit others. Never. Then puja, then when the exile death comes, so much fear. Then you die with that thought. With so much fear. Then someone didn't separate, say, the families, all the people come to see him. Even the people who usually don't come to see, to talk, but they come at the time of death, before you die, or after you're dead, or before you die, then they come far away to see you. Something like that. Some of the stories say something like that. Normally you don't do, but all the persons about died, and you come from far to see them. And so everybody is so sad when the person is so worried, afraid, crying, or dying. So then they can't do anything. The family, the friends, how many billion, zillion, trillion come to see me, they can't do anything. They can't do anything. So they had to cry together, So sad. So you understand? This way, keep this in the mind. Keep this in the heart. That what his son's advice. You understand? You want to know how to live the life. That's part of the advice, how to live the life. You understand? So very simple. Very simple. It's just your mind. So this way, to benefit others. Bodhichitta practice. Oh, so you live the life for others. Numberless sentiments, what happened, So, by thinking that you continuously are sick or you get worse, yes, this was sentiments. Oh, then, so mind is so happy, so much happiness, satisfaction, so much happiness in there. For numberless sentiments, so as you prayed, then it's getting worse, yes. This is what the most beneficial sentiment is. So even you're dying, this is what the most you prayed, if death is the most beneficial person, made it happen. So then this is happening to you. Then you see, so happy, mind is so happy. Oh, like that. Yeah. Then that's so important life, so important. Whether you are sick, whether you have cancer, whether you are sick or not, so important to see how to live the life. You see, you understand. So if you don't know how to live the life, it makes you so much suffering. It brings your emotional mind, your negative emotional mind brings so much suffering in your life. You understand? Then if you thought benefit others, champagne samba, thought benefit others, bodhichitta, thought benefit, so much happiness. Now in the future. Now, right now, when you die, future is enlightenment. You have to understand that. What the benefits is unbelievable. Future, the benefit, enlightenment. Now, so much happiness, satisfaction. Even death happens, so much happiness. Wasn't future enlightenment? Purification, samsara. Wow. So you have to practice this. How to live the life. All of that. So, sorry. My talk became longer. And then I thought to say this. I didn't remember because I wrote my note, so I didn't remember. So you see, but maybe good to know that. So you see, in the business, even you learn business from Harvard University or whichever university, economics, what. You see now, yes, if you don't have a clairvoyance, you don't know what's going to turn out next year. Business, you say, what is going to turn out next year? You have no idea. So you expect a profit. Wow, next year. Wow. You expect you have your own so much expectation, but you don't have karma to success. You see, so you have a karma opposite to lose, but you see you don't know. So, but because through business, what you learned, and the success. Wow, But you see, so you need clairvoyance, at least. Even if you don't have omniscient mind, you need clairvoyance to see the future, so that you know which way you lose, which way you gain. You see? Even business, you need clairvoyance to see the future. You understand? So, to run the government, you need clairvoyance. To run the government, of course, bodhichitta taught the benefit others. Of course, it's the root. And then also to run the government, you need clairvoyance. So you can see the future. Right or wrong. Lose and gain, right or wrong. You can see the future if you have clairvoyance. Oh, you need clairvoyance. Otherwise, you're hoping for the good result, but we don't have karma, so you lose. Then so much problem happens. The running government. So also, the doctor, being doctor, to recognize exactly, diagnose exactly all sicknesses, and the medicine exactly what it fits. To each person. All that you need, even you don't omniscient mind, it is clairvoyance can see. So many, in many lives, in so many lives, you need clairvoyance. Otherwise, you make mistakes. You know, that wrong diagnosis, the wrong medicine, or you have wrong understanding. So I want to explain this. Padmasambhava explained in the degenerate time. In the degenerate time, the sicknesses doesn't follow, the diagnosis doesn't follow what is said in the text. You know what I explained in the text. This is the pulse, and this is red, and this is sickness. You see it written there, for example, Tibetan text. But when the time is so much degenerated, that time it doesn't follow. It doesn't follow to that explanation. So there's danger, doctor give wrong medicine. You understand? When the time is so much degenerated. So then what to do? Padmasambhava gave a medicine Buddha. There's a medicine Buddha retreat. It is in the Rinpoche Tenzo, Mima, the Rinpoche precious treasure text. Rinpoche Tenzo. There's a because as well, I have a laudo, so it's printed on Tibetan paper from Tibet. So I just have a look. Have a look, go through. So there's a text to retreat, medicine Buddha retreat. There's Padmasambhava set up by Padmasambhava. So I told one doctor, I myself didn't retreat. One doctor, he's from New Zealand. He's a Western doctor. I'm the assistant in first in the Lama doctor for many years at Dharamsala before other doctors happened. So I explained to him the text and that this retreat. If you do this retreat, then that 3 ways. Seems even you haven't learned really the medical knowledge, the diagnosis and all this. But you see, by having the retreat, then as you're taking the patients, then the understanding just comes. Able to diagnosis exactly without slight mistake. Exactly. Or that this is able to explain and the medicine. While you're checking, the understanding comes. The other thing is Dragonis, next one, you can't do that. But Dragonis from backside tells you when you're checking the patients. Dragonis, they are backside telling you what sin the person has and what medicine to be taking. Then the next one is tomorrow you're going to see patients. Then tonight in the dream comes, it shows. So like that. So I explained to him, but I don't think he's yet. There is a text, yes, should be very useful. very, very useful. So I think this for sickness to how you say like that. As far as sickness, yes, I think to clairvoyance was like that 3 levels way. So depending on how you after the retreat and how much you able to achieve it. So like that. Of course, the best something that you can trust is the clairvoyance after you achieve karma about shinye. Shinye, karma about then yes, then there's something that you can trust clairvoyance. But I think there's many other ways to do to achieve, but I think probably the best one is shinye. Yes, basically through purification. This obscuration, obscuration, negative karma obscuration blocks the mind to see those phenomena which you don't know. So, yeah. All of that. Okay. So I left out what time? Huh? 22:06. 22:06. 22:06 to die. Okay. Okay, so I have to finish this talk. Sorry. So everyone has a world. Everyone has world. It's good to have world because you can increase sunam gets up a little bit chokes. So you could increase merit to your virtue, by using your word. Yeah, so you can do that. So the essence, so life having wealth, then how to look at that positive. So you understand? And if you don't have wealth, it says, so temporary and future, temporary and long run, all the happiness benefits, how much there is, it is definitely result of merit, result of quality merit. So for the time being and long run, you see, all the happiness benefits, how much there is definitely the result of your quality merit. So they're saying, if you have wealth, then how that is good to have wealth. So, but if you don't have wealth, then it is said before, it's good if you don't have wealth because worry to protect, worry, then fear to lose, all that, chase activities, you don't have that. You don't have all that worry, fear to protect, to lose, and all this, you see. You don't have all those activities, so you are free. You have happiness, you are free. And then, how much there's a fight, become as angry, instead of harmonious, or disharmony, kind of violent, or disharmony, angry, how much there is? How much there is angry, violence, or fight, how much there is, all definitely come from words, that you are attached to, that you are clinging to, attached to. So the main problem is attached to. So, like the Bodhisattvas, like Buddhas, like Bodhisattvas, having in the past the Bodhisattvas 1,000 wives, or so much wealth, and no attachment, only benefiting sentient beings. That's different. Then next one, musician shivakas. You want to die, it is better if you could die. If you could die, that's better, then it's good to die. If you could die, if that's better, then good to God, good to die. And this means for sentient beings. Why? 징인지 파도 맞춰지 삼주지 개조 상급에 만능이라는 추변이 징인지 파도 맞춰지. Why is good? So the message not interfered by the bad conditions. So that means bad conditions means bad condition outside, externally, and also internally, or that even somebody try to explain dharma or what you think, but you can't. Your mind unable to think with so much pain, unbelievable pain. We can't grasp the words. So there are many conditions, you see, like that. Coma, when you die in the coma, then many conditions, unbelievable pain. You carry somebody try to explain dharma, how to think, how to, leave the conscience freely, you see, power, transfer conscience, pure land. But some of the pain or the other conditions come out, you see, so you can't, that doesn't become useful for the person. When there's better condition, I'm giving an example, bad condition like this happens. So, like that bad condition didn't interfere you now, didn't happen now. And samjurje gejer sangtrobes. So, you see, samjurje gejer sangtrobes. So, good practitioners, or somebody who is living good samaya, good practitioner, or say, then explain you, you do puja prayer, explain you, then you see your mind can go to Pure Land, for example, power or like that. You see, then your mind can go to Pure Land. From this life to better life in the future. Better life in the future, or even to be on Pure Land, or like that. You see, it can help with that. So, what does karma or some unbelievable pain? When is near time to die, then so much pain, this and that, some problems, and can't even somebody try to explain, cannot think. So like that, you see. So now, then, without interfered by bad conditions, so somebody who is a good Samaya, somebody who is a good person, also they can do the puja or prayers, and they can explain you. So your mind can they can help your mind so that you can Pure Land or better put or something that. So definitely, your mind goes in the unmisting path. They help your mind definitely to enter in the unmisting path. But if you are living long time, if that is better, what I mentioned before, if that is better for sentient being, then it's good to be alive. Why it's better to be alive? So to generate the crops of the experience of the path, to grow the crops of the in the experience in the path. You see the heat of the teaching, heat means fresh. The heat of the teaching not disappeared. Something fresh, fresh of the teaching. Maybe heat of the teaching, the fresh of the teaching, not disappeared. The advisor teaching. You just remember juice. So by a long time practicing, by a long time relying on that, then the paths get ripened in your heart, actualized in your heart. Just imagine. Whatever happens to your life, example, all these things, what negative side and the other one positive side, but what is regarded usually in the world by ordinary people, whatever happens, but for you, dharma practitioner, whatever happens to your life, but be happy. Whatever happens in life, even you have a cancer, even you have a diabetes, even cancer, or is it, no cancer, no sickness, or whatever is your mind happy. So be happy. So whichever life, be happy. So it means your life is totally dedicated for sentient being. So what do we experience? We experience for sentient beings. See, Lama Dhammarikita, Lama Adesha's guru, on the Lama Sinimba, from whom he received 12 years, total complete bodhichitta teachings. And then each time when he mentioned, when he hears or when he mentions name, then I think he maybe stands up or he cries each time, so much devotion to like that. And then other one Lama Dhammarikita. The Lama Dhammarikita wrote a world of sharp opens. So there it says this must write down. It's very important to write down, to remember, to remind you all the time. So Lula means Nasa Chunga says. Lula means Nasa Chunga says. When you experience unbearable suffering, unbearable pain, when you experience unbearable pain to your body, Lula means Nasa Chunga says. Shingulula never joins, so you have harm to others' body in the past. That's because you harmed to others' body. Shingulula never joins in the past. You see? Shingulula never joins. Oh, immediately you have to remember that. Toothache, headache, whatever, cancer, whatever happens, first thing, remember, was it? Because you have harmed others. That's the very first thing. The evolution, choosing the evolution. Choosing the evolution. So it's the camper of your mind, you see. So in problem with it, because with the self-cherishing thought, with the attachment, with self-cherishing, with the anger, with the ignorance, you gave harm to others. So it's camper of your mind. So now this pain, whatever it came from your mind. Shingulula never jawain. Lula means nasa chunga say, Shingulula never jawain. Tani nasa malu rang langs. Tani nasa malu rang langs. So now what to do? Now what to do? You understand? Tani is now what to do. Nothing more. Every single pain, take it in yourself. Every single pain, take it on yourself. That means every sentence means pain, take it on yourself. So that means you use your pain, cause to achieve enlightenment. Not only for yourself to be kind of like taking drug. Wow. No. For sentient beings. So that means all sentient beings, you are using your pain to all sentient beings to achieve enlightenment. You understand? Keep that in mind. Write down. You should remember this. You have to put it in diary book. Put in your diarrhea book. Okay? All right. So very important. This so good to remember every day, to remember this. When something undesirable thing, anything undesirable thing, but remember this. You understand? Undesirable thing, even it's not pain, but it's maybe mental pain. Fantastic. Oh, you enjoyed. You enjoyed. You experiencing cancer, or experiencing umbrella pain, headache, or whatever it is. Oh, you are making the best happiness. You are making the best happiness. Enjoying. You understand? That. So then especially, Tonglen. So this so Tonglen, every single suffering that takes on suffering is all sentient beings suffering. You understand? Wow, that's best. You make your life most happy. You understand? The suffering, the most happy. See, even suffering. So. Time finished. What? 3 minutes to die. 3 minutes to live. Okay, so this I haven't received room of this. I haven't received complete room of the Lama Tsongkhapa teaching. I received many important ones from Isuna Lama, many other important things from other teachers, like Tangre Shinpo, they interpret the meaning, the heart of the good explanation, and they from Tibetating, but from I think from Isuna, from Zopa, but and then Madamiga, yes, but complete teaching room I haven't received yet, but I'm hoping to that very soon. I did request Geshe Drukda, who's the main teacher in the Jime Monastery or Tantric College. So teaching many Geshes, that's why I did request to him. So sooner or later, to Kapon or to teacher Kapon, so there is all the ones and nuns, they can receive also. So anyway, I did request, and so to him to give. Anyway, so maybe Lama Tsongkhapa's this transforming suffering into happiness. I didn't receive all the time, but I can go through this. For example, yes, many times other people's disease, problems, but you're doing Tonglen, taking others in suffering, they give your happiness to the others in that way, by doing sincerely, then other person's disease is recovered. This happened many times. This happens. There's one I don't. don't remember complete name. It's a complete name. There's a in the garden lives his son, which is house. Yeah, I don't remember his. So anyway, he was a lady. I think he did Tonglen. She has stolen, her. I think I don't know, through the egg or something big stolen here. So he did Tonglen, and she got better, and then she got better, and she got better, and he got this stolen. Then later, she invited him in the West, Australia. Now he lives in Australia, I think. Didn't seem expert. I was externally dharma philosophy, but he has experience of this Tonglen, and it's helping the other people also like that. That is it's an incredible thing to do the Tonglen. So I advise that when we walk in the street, so maybe here you don't see much, but in India, in the road, you see people who have deformed body and so much suffering. You see, animals, so much suffering, carrying huge, heavy load in full carriage, So, what you do is Tonglen in the right way. You do Tonglen, take that sentient being, cause of suffering in your heart. Yeah, then you give your happiness, the merits through that being. And even a person, somebody with so much suffering, whatever, you take all the suffering, the cause suffering, and you give your happiness virtue to that person. So like that you can practice. So even while you're walking, and so good, fantastic. You can pray, and you can pray for him. Fantastic practice. So you can go outside, walk around, and do Tonglen practice. You can go in just for that. It's unbelievable. So you clearly merit, more than sky, unbelievable, going around doing that. And then Fred has many stories by doing Tonglen, who recovered cancer. In China, I remember one China, I don't know the person, but he read my book and did Tonglen and recovered his cancer. And Fred has many stories. So I told him to make a book on all that. By reciting by Tonglen. And then he made, a long time ago, then he made a book in Nepal, he showed me. So I was telling maybe to translate into Tibetan or something. I was remember to Raja something like that. So anyway, so this incredible practice. So the Kadamba Geshe Chikawa, so he has been praying every day to be born in hell for sentient beings. Every day he's been praying to be born in hell. Praying that sincerely, not just joke, not just political. No, sincerely to be born in the hell for sentient being. Instead of sentient being suffering, he suffer for them. So then the day when he would pass away, then instead of hell, then Pure Land happened. Round him, Pure Land, vision of Pure Land happened, and he told his attendant, he didn't succeed his prayer. So like that. So the power of his good heart, appearance of Pure Land happened rather than hell. The power is a good heart. So like that. So best. So I want to tell you, even the medicine doesn't help. Whether it's cancer, whether it's whatever it is, doesn't help, and even it gets worse. Okay, so Tonglen, if you can do Tonglen continuously, you see, each time when you take the suffering of sentient beings and cause, you collect merit more than sky. Sky is limitless. You collect more than sky merit. Each time you take the suffering of sentient beings, the numberless sentient beings. All like that. Each time you give your happiness, your merits, result happiness, including enlightenment, all the temporary ultimate, including enlightenment, all the merits, you see, your body possessions, you give others sentient beings. With each one, you collect merits more than sky. You have to know that. You have to know that. Like this. Unbelievable merit. Wow. Then each time you do, when you Tonglen, taking other sentient suffering, giving your happiness to others, you become closer to enlightenment. You become closer to enlightenment. More distant from samsara, closer to enlightenment. Then if you die, that's the best way to die. Best way to die with bodhichitta. He also often says, best way to die is bodhichitta, with bodhichitta. You understand? If you die, best one. You die with anyway, we have to die anyway. We have to die anyway. So you want to die with so much fear, worry, or self-cherishing, with the self-cherishing, fear, worry, with the attachment. So it's like separating you from the enjoyment, your family, from your body, then Lord, so anyway you're going to die, so you're going to have all this worry, fear, all these things, suffering, all this, and the Lord, to Tonglen now, to Tonglen, so when this is get worse, when you should die, you go to Pure Land. You understand? Like the Katamba gets Chekwa. You go to Pure Land. You go to better life. You go to Pure Land. And then after then you achieve Amitabha Pure Land. After that, then you achieve enlightenment. And in the Vajrayogani Pure Land, right there you achieve enlightenment. You understand? So there's best, if you're able to turn best life. Most happy life, best life. So you have to talk every moment of your life most beneficial for all the sentient beings. You understand? Every single numberless hebel, numberless animal, numberless human being, numberless spirit, numberless you understand? Everyone benefit. You understand? So say. Relating myself, much time when the eye has pain, when the eye has pain, then even when I don't do Tonglen, actual Tonglen, but just about to do, just about close to do, the pain goes away. It's like that. It's I think the sort of the I don't know, the power of the total benefit of the soul, I don't know, something like that. So when it's about to do, then pain stops. But I can't say whether it's bad or good. I can't say bad or good. But I can't say whether that is thought transformation practice or not, obviously. But it happens. And then sometimes I have stomach pain, so sometimes in the past, none now. Many people think I have a pain, but I don't have pain at all now. Past, so maybe I thought maybe cancer. So when there's pain, I thought maybe cancer. So I do Tonglen, So even when you don't do Tonglen exactly, but it's just about thought, just about thought to do, or thought to do, or thinking Tonglen. So when it starts, then it goes away, as many times like that. That's just yeah, just tiny, the tiny bit there, so the experience of even thinking, not excluding, but even thinking to do, that is power, so much. So if you are smart, if you are a fortunate person, smart, then anytime, whether there's medicine can cure or not cure or whatever, or that's spend life in that. Wow. Whether it's cure or not cure, that's benefit to every single sentient being, to achieve enlightenment. You understand? So even when you take medicine, thinking is for taking the medicine to benefit your sentient beings. You are alive to be able to benefit sentient beings. So so in the past, so time to time you see, that you are liable to be beneficial for sentient beings. So taking medicine. So in the hospital, so if you're in the hospital, then in the hospital there are so many sick people, so you can take all the sickness on yourself. At least, not all the sentient, but at least the hospital sick people. So take it on yourself. So you see, can help if we do sincerely. One can help them. So it's very good to do like that. For the best, of course, than all the sentient beings. So, however, so whatever treatment you are doing, I think you are doing this. You are doing this for all the sentient beings. So your life to be most beneficial for sentient beings. So you're doing this treatment for all the sentient beings. And so remember that, rather than just with this, only with the self-cherishing thought and torturing yourself. Torturing you, nobody torture you by yourself. Rather than that, and then think of make your life happy. Or then your life to be more beneficial for sentient beings than having this treatment for sentient beings. It's all of that. So everything what you do, as much as even you don't have bodhichitta, but as much as possible, you do it for sentient beings. All of that. So eating food, whatever the enjoyment, sleep, and whatever enjoy, or try as much as possible for sentient beings. Not like that. So as much as possible. So this Lama Tsongkhapa's advice. Maybe I say. So Rinpoche, I think who preserve practice, the Lama Tsongkhapa lineage teaching. So there's I think Kashi Zimba, Sherpa Tsangpo, so I don't know what exactly, but so I think that's like the dharma Geshe, expert or thing like that. He asked question to Lama Tsongkhapa. So Lama Tsongkhapa, he asked question, So Lama Tsongkhapa wrote this at the writing. I think the simplest way he wrote Lamri Chamo. There are 2 rooms, but totally ruined. Only one side of rocks, a little thrown left. So above his Guru Lama Umaba, the one rebuilt. But the Lama Tsongkhapa's 2 rooms were totally ruined. The stones, one side stone left. But so precious, those stones, unbelievable. So I didn't get to ask. I went there in the evening time to church. I did with a monk. The Chinese pointed to run the Rating Monastery, and he was there. And I could ask one stone to give me, but really, I didn't get to ask. Well, maybe I didn't get to think in that time. So with the church, there are these candles and with Lady Giotto, So then it became late. Already we went up late. So that day, the monastery, the monk appointed by Chinese to run the monastery, he invited us and met tea offering and the snakes in the Heru. So we did. So after that we went up. Well, Lama Tsongkhapa wrote Lamdrum, Chimo, and it became dark. We did church preparatory practice, and then we come down night time. So but as it comes down as a sloppy. So, but I think nobody fell down. So everybody arrived to monastery safely. Yeah. So today I was thinking maybe to build the 2 rooms, Lama today I thought, Lama Umabas built a new house, but build a small room, but then I think they may not let me build, because you can see now what happened in Tibet, destruction. So you can see the destruction. Whereas you rebuild, you can't see the destruction again. So I don't think rebuild may not be a good idea. They may not like. I'm not sure. So yeah. So he asked by that with a friend, yeah, he asked, please give to utilize suffering in the path to enlightenment. Short, very short teaching. He asked. Then Lama Tsongkhapa said, we are we are the men who preserve the teaching. Trusin duale myomo, trusin duale myomo. That I'm not sure. When young Katal Michaki Chitu Dorte the Solnas, Trusin dualism, maybe that Lama, that Kashi Zimbashira Palsangbo, that virtual friend, and that I think he already have experience, these things, utilizing suffering in the past to enlightenment. So then he already has, and then this is talking about this as something which wasn't there. So but because he asked, so do not break his request. So if I explain in short, Dungalam the Sevani, Dungalam the Sevani, Miki River Chades. Desert Dungalam de lot of us. Tene, Dungalam the wrong vessels. So the utilizing suffering in the past done by 2 things, done by 2 methods. One is the not desiring the suffering. Like this, not desiring the suffering, so dispel that mind, stop that mind. That's first. That's the first. Teni dungan lamdu wrong so teni utilizing the suffering in the past, turning the suffering in the path to enlightenment. So these two things. So way to transform the suffering into happiness is there's two methods. Dungala sere chizam chewa, dungala sere chizam chewa, tetamji yimin dewa pelve the dungla. How much you consider sere? I don't know what the English word. How much you concerned when one is concerned, how much you are concerned with suffering. I'm going to see, because your mind is so big. You see, your mind kind of makes so big. Even something small problem, but your mind makes so big. Oh, I'm this, that, you make so big. You see that right? Sere, concern you. How much you concern the suffering, that much the unhappiness increases. Unhappiness increases, then it bit dunglas, then it torment you. Tela tene, you should be shetanpili. But depending on that, then your mind gets disturbed. Too much concern. Such a small thing. I mean, there's no problem, but there's no problem. But your mind make problem. Basically, also like that. It's a small suffering problem, but you exaggerate so much, you make big problem. So that's like this. But depending on that, so you see, so much concern with your suffering, then because that the unhappiness increases, then that suffer, that tortures you, that torments you. But depending to that, then you should be shetan pelbe, chimara dive tunde maybe. But depending on that, then you see it disturbs your mental continuum. Disturbs your mental continuum, then increases anger. Then by that, I'm not 100% sure they hear what's written here is correct or not, but so later, chimar dive dundu maybe dundu chimar. So later, that's my guess. Later, there's no genuine happiness. Nothing. In the later, then you see so much. You see, you give so much suffering yourself. You torment you so much suffering. You torment you and so much suffering rises. Kebe dungal misivilo jabar mechago. So if you are expert, wise, if you are wise, then if you are a wise person, then you see, you can say if you are a practitioner, if you are a wise person, genuine wise person, if you are a practitioner, then don't be too concerned. Don't be too concerned of your suffering. If you are wise, don't be too concerned. You can see some people so tiny, you so much the concern. Some they make the suffering so big. So, for example, in the water hotel, you're there, then you saw in the nighttime fleas. You saw fleas nighttime jumping during sleep. Then, because that you want to move the hotel, you want to move next hotel or another hotel, you want to go. So, for example, I said, whatever. So if you're wise, then you don't generally thought so much concerned of your suffering. You see, you do that. So you energize. You make strong your mind, not weak, strong. You make your mind strong. With many reasons, you put many reasons. To rise again, the definite. You see the encouragement, the strong mind. So that brings happiness, you see? No. So generate again. But the reasons, many reasons. So on your heart, on your mind, so strong, so powerful, so strong, your heart, your mind become powerful, not discouraged or not affected with this, what maybe not problem or maybe small problem or whatever. So concerned so much. So you're not concerned with the. So very strong, powerful mind. So when you generate strong, powerful mind, you see, then even the suffering is great. Cancer getting worse. So it's cancer, see, getting worse, or whatever other disease, whatever other problems, other problems, wars, whatever, in the country, to you, whatever harm, become greater, but you don't get tormented, you don't suffer. Your mind is happy. Even though there are many problems, many heavy problems rises, but, you see, but your mind is happy. They don't torment you. They don't torment you. Then your heart is so small. The power of your heart is, your mind is small. Then actually, without meaning, if your heart, if your power that your heart is small, no courage. It's with not much courage into your power. Your heart is small. Then without meaning, then unnecessary. Without meaning, then you will be suffering. Things turned out to suffering. See, then you suffer. Things become suffering. You suffer without purpose, without meaning. For example, it says, a hero, if you see your own blood, you are injured, and you see blood to yourself, then that causes you especially to be great hero. Oh, seeing your blood, then you're injured, you see your blood, then especially, then that encourages you. Oh, this is especially encourages you, grow so much the courage mind, you see. Then who don't have courage, small heart, power heart, then if they see you see blood, the others injured, you see blood, then you become fainted. 다음에 재미에 타토나 야신 법을 좋아하시노. 람데 땅와라 라나 때데 람데 제와든 생리미데 자완이 당문이사. I cannot finish with it. Just stop here. Lamde Tangwala, now utilize the suffering in the path to enlightenment. Lamde Tangwala, Rana Tode, Lamde Shavata. But depend on yourself, then utilize in path to enlightenment. Senlamite, by focusing others, the suffering and the utilizing path to enlightenment, that's true. The relating yourself in utilizing suffering, the path to enlightenment, but then generate strong power of the mind. Thinking, rising suffering like this. So having the sources of shared jitadandamala, so having power of wisdom, discerning wisdom. So it brings qualities. So that brings qualities. Brings qualities. So therefore should be happy. The suffering is good. Suffering is good. So Sibling ever doing somebody batang. So generation thought renunciation to samsara. The suffering causes, you see, to generate renunciation to samsara. So you think that's nature, this problem, that's because you are in samsara. So that's mistakes you bring samsara. So generation renunciation to samsara. So you want to be free from samsara, you see. So general renunciation to samsara, that's one thing. And then second thing, and then Buddha Dharma Sangha, who frees you from samsara, and then frees other sentient beings from samsara, suffering. So, totally rely on Buddha Dharma Sangha. Jabla yidin chabadang, jabla yidin chabadang. So, totally rely on Buddha Dharma Sangha. Because of suffering, samsara. So that's the benefit of suffering. Then you see your arrogance. By seeing the suffering that you experience, by seeing the suffering, then that eliminates your mind has a arrogance. Arrogance, it eliminates your mind the feeling arrogance. Then you see you become more careful to not create cause, negative karma. You become more careful. And so you are more happy. Your mind is more happy to create virtue because it's suffering. So that then you able to generate compassion to the sentient beings. So it causes to generate compassion to other sentient beings who are suffering samsara. It causes to generate compassion to them. So then if you generate compassion, then if you generate compassion, then you are able, from that you are able to achieve enlightenment. Without compassion, there is no enlightenment. So if there's compassion, there's enlightenment. If there's no compassion, no enlightenment. So you can see that big differences, having compassion, not having compassion. You can see the incredible benefits having compassion. So I stop here. So what I'm saying is this. Lojong, thought transformation is like this. Death or sicknesses, cancer, whatever problem is, relationship problem, whatever problem is. So while you are experiencing, you see, experiencing this for sentient beings, for numberless sentient beings. You experience this for numberless sentient beings. While you are experiencing this pain, whatever relationship problem or whatever is, while you experience this for sentient beings. the sentient beings suffering, you see. You experience this for sentient being. They're suffering, but let them to be free. Let them to be free from suffering. Let them to be enlightened. So, you see, yeah. So while you are experiencing the pain, or the relationship problem, or whatever it is, so dedicated work, experience this for all the sentiments. So think this, all the sentiments suffering. You experience, let them to be enlightened. You see? So, but here the goal is experience suffering of sentient being. Your goal. You experience suffering of sentient being, and they become enlightened, free from samsara. Okay. So, therefore, Lord Zhong is while the pain, while the death, while the pain, while the relationship problem, whatever is the problem, while it is happening, then you experience it for all the sentient being. You experience all the sentient being suffering, let them to be free from suffering and enlightened. So it's like that. So but you see, but your aim is to recover this pain. You're doing this thought transformation practice, Lojong, but you see the pain, the pain to be stopped. Whatever you're experiencing, the suffering to be stopped. You're doing Lojong, the taking suffering of others. In the experience, you're doing this, you have to stop it, your pain. So you see, so the motivation is, my question is the motivation, you see. So to stop pain, so you're doing the Lojong, the taking the sentient suffering, but your main motivation is to stop the pain, or the relationship problem, whatever it is. You see? So in that way, if I check deeply, it doesn't become thought transformation. Even though it stops your pain, or, as I said before, sickness or relationship problem or anything, even though it stops, but because your aim is that, to stop, you see, then you're taking sentiments, other sentiments. So my question then, that doesn't mean Lojong, doesn't mean thought transformation. Transformation is that while you are suffering, then utilize the path to enlightenment. You experience force sentiment, you experience sentiment suffering, and let them to be prepared achieving. So you see like that, the Lojong. So, but your aim is to stop your pain or whatever problem is. To stop that, then you're doing taking that I think maybe not sincere, maybe not 100% sincere Lojong. This is my question. Okay, thank you very much. So I think that I did not finish. So maybe it takes many eons. But I think, the very fortunate to hear Lama Tsongkhapa teaching. Okay. So that's all. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah. Then tomorrow break. Then what? What? So I continue after some time, okay? Or next slide. Next slide. Next slide we come back to ABC. Everyone reborn ABC. A child reborn ABC. What? Day after tomorrow. Day after tomorrow teaching day. Oh, I see. So maybe I have to do. Today I talked to other things at the beginning, so but it's important. So that tomorrow, if it exists, then maybe I may have to rush a little bit. Okay? So thank you very much. Did you all the past, which I made it, I made it, when I'm listening, when I'm listening with us. With bodhichitta was the source of all the happiness and success. Including enlightenment, generated in your heart and generated in the heart of all the helpings, generated in the heart of all the hungry ghosts, all the animals, every single animals, every single human beings, every single asura beings and intermediate beings. And who has generated bodies that may be increased. O Chanjo Yasmejo Rinpoche Madeba Hanayanjejo Jeba Nyamba Meba Egonego Ando Abejo. Konde ranchi adunza meba da junde tende ruwa meba penja game trosu chawa lujo konde dobara chinjelo. Today the chicken dreaming noise. Didn't say coo coo. So I missed that. Yesterday he did that. He or she. Is it he? He. She doesn't do, he does. He coo coo coo. I'm sure we did numberless times in the past life. Coo coo coo. Now, how many times we ate chicken in the past life? Lama ji? Numberless times. From beginners, we had chicken. We killed chicken, we had chicken. You know, from you get all the happiness, past, present, future, enlightenment, everything. And from where with Lama Sangha that you take refuge all the time, comes from the sentient being, chicken. Then you see, numberless Bodhisattvas cherish the most. Cherish the most. They renounced I, and others cherished, only cherish. Others, the chicken. Numberless Bodhisattvas cherish most precious. So, for them to achieve free of samsara, achieve enlightenment, then the Bodhisattvas, they acquire merits of virtue and merits of transformation. So the engaging path completely to achieve enlightenment, and numberless Buddhas cherish, become enlightened for this chicken. Numberless Buddhas enlightened and cherish the most this chicken. So we say, and been mother from beginner's rebirth, cherishes us most, and being born a chicken to them, to her, under. Or then how many times that, so they press the chicken, how many times we ate, we killed. Due to ignorance, self-cherishing thoughts, from beginningless birth. Wow. So like that. No. So since we can read here, so I don't have to go through, I don't have to do the English, yeah. So it's just written there, so it's much, it helps very much, save time. Did all the merits quality by numberless past, present, future by myself, numberless merits quality past, present, future, and then by the sentient beings, and numberless merits past, present, future collected by Buddhas, and so do that. Sera kundu jawa tsonga ve techo shinye musu zebe gyave ngabe lansa tenye dan keche sanyang dupa ma into mid Lama Tsongkhapa teaching, not just intellectual, to actualize what is said in the what Lama Tsongkhapa explained in the book, to have that in your heart, to actualize path. Mejo namdara tame tintan deva jase chebe yinto che jaso choke rinye nanjo losan jawe tintan jawo. So I'm praying, doing prayer for all of us here and in Russia, all the students in Russia, then another country who are listening to teaching. I'm doing these prayers for everybody. Bande Lama Jigu Jinjawa Kodang Guse Zeta Shingada Jeje Senjo Sambo Jinjawa Zendra Kona Dasu Yora Yo Bande Lame Namba Tawa Keje Sanyang Loda Meke Jinje Leba Toe Mogu Je Lame Chila Semla Juba Medan toa mogu beiji nuwa basan shilsan jera gonze samban drive dashi jo. The very important prayer. Did you all the past, present, future merits declared by me? Cheta merits declared by numberless sentient beings. And Cheta merits declared by numberless Buddhas. Did all this? May the war, famine, disease, torture, poverty, then all these problems may be pacified immediately in this world. And all the dangers of earth, water, fire, wind, all this to be pacified immediately and to have perfect peace, happiness, including enlightenment. By generating loving kindness, compassion, bodhichitta in everyone's heart. Okay. Then any sentient due to all that three times made secret by oneself and sentient being, both Buddhas. May any sentient being who see me, touch me, remember me, think of me, and just by that, may I see any sentient being that I see, remember, touch, hear voice, just by that, may all their suffering be pacified immediately, may they achieve all the happiness, including enlightenment, by generating bodhichitta, the loving kind of compassion thought. And then due to all the past, present, future merits declared by me, future merits declared by numberless sentient beings, numberless Buddha. Exists, which exists mere in the mere name. So nothing exists from its own side. Yet I, who exists in the mere name, so do not exist at all from its own side, achieve the Buddhahood which exists in the mere name, so do not exist at all from its own side. Lead all the sentient beings who exist in the mere name, so do not exist from its own side. lead to that Buddhahood which exists in mere name, so do not exist at all from its own side. Totally empty. By myself alone, who exists in mere name, so do not exist at all from its own side, and totally empty. Jambal bodhichitta jemba da gunda sambo diyan dichite tita gunji jesun dalo jingewa dita tamchi rabdu senden shebe jawa tamchi jingwa kala chutu ngaba tagewe sawa digin jan sambo chuchi rabdu no di chunden jinjawa jachamayan taba sewe singa nama nasu vijawara chadra anche samba 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 gunda sambara chadra chunden jimra jima nama nasu vijawara chadra anche samba 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 gunda sambara chadra chunden jimra jima taba sewe nama nasu vijawara chadra anche samba 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 gunda sambara chadra Tatam Bezava Abodin is Zamik, Tatam Bezava Abonis, Zamik, Tatam Bezava Abodin is Zamik, Tatam Bezava Abodin is Zamik, Tatam Bezava is Zamik, so. Chanda Jawa Jama was the West and the Major of Javala Chazara, Javala, more than one of the Javala Chazaro, mentions Javila, the Rom. Dangala Tabat to the another Kaza, Jistin Kaza. Ah. Jida Kamande Pende Amalu Thank you very much.